Ingrid Lazcano's story is as unique as the business she's developed around an alkaline-rich food product not many Americans know about, but they soon will. A former music manager, Ingrid's career path took a very big turn when she went to the Bolivian Andes and discovered quinoa. Her company, Andean Dream, now supports 280 indigenous farmers in one of the poorest countries in South America, Bolivia. From Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid to Andean Dream. Ingrid, welcome to LA Business Today.
Thank you so much, Bob. It's a pleasure to be here today.
What is quinoa?
Quinoa is an ancient grain from high in the Andes. It grows at about 12,000 feet, and it's a superfood. It's a little tiny seed about the size of a mustard seed, and it has about 21 amino acids. It's the highest source of protein in the world that you can find today.
And been around, we understand, for about, what, 6,000 years?
That's right, 6,000 years. It was a food of even pre-Inca to the Tiahuanaco civilization. It goes all the way back about 6,000 years.
You know, I have a feeling when the Spanish invaded this hemisphere and buried the mirror of the cultures of many of the indigenous here, they probably left quinoa out, right?
I think so.
But now you've come back and you've discovered it, and you've turned it into a product that you're selling in package form. First, what, as cookies?
Yeah, we started as cookie. We take the seed, we grind it up into a flour, and we started with the cookies, and then we have evolved and spun off from that into pasta, a line of pasta.
Wow.
And now new soups. We just are introducing soups. Everything is organic, and it's gluten-free, which is, of course, very desirable right now.
Yeah,
a lot of people are discovering. That's right, gluten allergies.
They not have a tolerance for this.
That's
okay,
right.
So is this a mail order thing, or can I go into a supermarket and buy this?
You can go into Whole Foods or any other natural food store across the country and find our brand.
Why is this such a secret to the American public?
Well, you know, it's not a secret. Actually, the Europeans discovered it first. I think Europeans are a bit more food savvy. They're interested in the whole culinary thing. But now our American chefs are learning about quinoa, and you'll find more and more are cooking with it and using it as an alternative grain.
What's it taste like?
It has kind of a nutty flavor, and it's a little difficult to work with because it doesn't have gluten. So when you're making it and you're trying to form it into something, you have to introduce other flours. Otherwise, it doesn't set up.
I see. Now, you start taking it, and you take it on a regular basis, which means every day or a couple of times a week, or what, before you start feeling its effects?
Well, you can cook up the actual seed. It puffs up and fluffs up into something that is similar to couscous, and you can use it instead of rice or potatoes like a side dish, or you could actually put it into soups and stews. Or, in our case, we grind up that seed and we make the pasta and the cookies. So the additional protein that you're getting from this food source, you're going to start noticing increased energy in a few weeks.
Right, as many as like 4 weeks in your case.
Yes, exactly.
But everybody's different. You can get that effect sooner or later.
Probably, 2, 3, 4 weeks, you'll start feeling the energy because you're getting the protein. Getting a big source of protein is the quinoa.
Okay, so really physically, how do you feel? What do you want to go out and dance, work longer at the office? What do you want?
All of the above.
Nicer to your husband? How does it work?
All of the above.
All of the above. Just and just a good thing for your body.
You have a feeling of well-being. Yeah, you just feel more calm, and you feel energized, and you're, like you said, you're ready to go out and have fun.
Well, for Popeye it was spinach, and for the new generations
it's quinoa.
It's quinoa. One of the wonderful things about you starting this business is that you've created jobs by doing this. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, when we started the company, my husband and I were thinking about the people in Bolivia who actually grow the quinoa. And they were living well below the poverty line, in mud and brick houses with no electricity, mud floors, no modern conveniences whatsoever. So we wanted to, in some way, give back. So we did this under the umbrella of a fair trade program. So this is creating jobs not only for the farmers, but for the people who actually manufacture the products, because everything is manufactured in Bolivia. And we try to give people jobs who are having challenges in their life, people with disabilities, single mothers, So we have even women in the factory that are deaf-mute. So our head engineer is trained in sign language.
Wow.
And so she can communicate with our workers that make all of the products for us.
Now, there is quinoa, and then there is royal quinoa.
That's right.
Which is out of the Bolivia part of it, right? What's the difference?
The royal quinoa grows around a 6,000-year-old salt lake, and it's at an elevation of 12,000 feet. And the minerals that are in the lake are amazing. As a matter of fact, NASA sent a team of researchers to that area of the world, and they tested the water in the lake and found out that the nutrients in there have everything essential for human nutrition. So all of those minerals are enriching the soil around where the quinoa plant grows and are absorbed into the plant. So those seeds get bigger, they have more protein, they have 21 amino acids. It's really a superfood. And interestingly enough, NASA caught on to that, and when they were doing the space shuttles, they were taking the quinoa in a liquefied form and sending it up into space, and the astronauts were actually living on this for up to 2 months.
And doing their spacewalks.
And doing their spacewalks.
And being more energetic about
That's
it.
right.
Exactly.
Getting more done.
That's great. The United Nations also took notice, did it not?
They did. They passed a resolution, and 2013 has been declared International Year of Quinoa. So you're going to see a lot about that coming up here starting this summer 2012 going forward all through next year.
Ingrid, let's talk about the business. How tough is it to be in this kind of a marketing area? Was it tough to get started? Did you have trouble finding seed money of sorts? I hate to use that word. Grain money to get started and get moving. And how has it been in this economy that everybody says is still horrible and doesn't look like it's getting better?
We actually were at the right place at the right time, and it was wonderful because no one really knew yet about quinoa, but they were starting to get interested, and then this whole gluten-free trend came about, and our products are all gluten and allergy friendly. So in the beginning, we just started small, and we had our first break from Whole Foods. They introduced it in their stores, and then it just kind of grew from there. And now, of course, there's a lot of competition in the gluten-free market.
Yeah.
But we tend to use the finest ingredients. Our products are just a little bit more expensive because we want everything organic. We want the purest ingredients, no artificial colors or flavors or anything in there that's hydrogenated. And we don't take shortcuts or add ingredients like fillers, like corn. So we have a really fine product, and I think that's what's helping boom our success.
Are you noticing any competitive backlash to your product? In other words, the bigger people who want to keep the public steered more toward their product instead of experimenting with yours, you don't feel that there's any kind of unfair competition going on?
Not with the quinoa so much. Quinoa is a premium grain. It's one of the most expensive grains right now. A lot of companies, big companies, have jumped on this whole gluten-free bandwagon. And they are introducing all kinds of products, but you will find them filled mostly with corn, for example, which is selling for between $300 and $400 a metric ton, whereas quinoa is $3,200 a metric ton.
Wow.
So most of the big manufacturers are staying away from it because it is so expensive, and they would prefer to increase their margin by putting a lot of fillers in there. Or, just...
I'm kind of smiling, not at what you're saying, but I was thinking as you were talking, that why is it that everything that's good for us, cleaner burning fuel, your product, and you can go through a dozen other products that are good for you, cost more? Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Absolutely.
Shouldn't things that are good for you cost less because they want people to live longer and be healthier?
I know. You go back to the old adage, quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
I think it's better to have less of good things than a lot of nothing. So.
Well, one of the good things, and I think in favor of Andean Dream, is that Americans, a lot of Americans, and I guess it's a new generation of smarter people, they're getting it now. That when you read statistics like, 50,000 people die of heart attacks from eating fast food.
Right.
When people realize that there are all alternatives, out there that all you have to do is look for them and find them, like quinoa.
Yeah.
That's a better way to go.
Absolutely.
And also, I think there's the aspect of food shortages that everybody keeps predicting that it's coming, that nobody really wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about the shortage of oil. Nobody wants to talk about that water may become an issue, not only in this state, but all over the country. And food, valuable food products. This is the right time for a person like you to introduce this kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, interesting you mentioned water, because quinoa is pretty drought resistant. It doesn't require much water at all.
Uh-huh.
So that's good for our, for our plants. We don't have to worry about bringing in water to the region. It's a natural occurrence through where they grow.
Yeah. So I imagine reception to this is good. You got nutritionists that are going, that a girl, and people, and I have to tell the audience that I did kind of bite on a cookie earlier, and it did have a very, very satisfying taste. I'm not feeling the nutritional bump yet, because I just had a taste. But, Ingrid's going to give me a bag. I'm going to take it home, and we're going to see what happens.
That's right.
But what's next? I mean, are you going to expand this? I mean, what are the possibilities of quinoa? You now got cookies, soups, and pastas. What's next?
The possibilities are endless for this. I mean, there's a lot of different products that can be developed, but I think what we want to do, the main objective right now, is to educate the consumer on the benefits and to try to get more people trying these alternative grains so that they can have a better diet.
Uh-huh.
I'm very concerned about the quality of the diet here in the United States, as you were talking about earlier.
Right, and I'm the one who should talk, a big carnitas lover as a Latino, but I've got to get away from that kind of stuff and get back into this mindset, which
Thank you. Some stop by the quinoa.
Go have some quinoa. Ingrid Lazcano, very, very nice to meet you.
Thank you, Bob.
Good
It's
luck
a
with
pleasure.
Andean Dream, and come back and see us and let us know when you come up with quinoa cornflakes or something.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And you're watching LA Business Today.
"2012 is the Chinese Year of the Dragon, considered the luckiest in the Chinese zodiac.
Reports are out that fertility clinics are now busy helping couples conceive in the first few months of this year in hopes of a lucky dragon baby."
You're married to a dragon, Bob.
Yes, I'm well aware of your good luck, Sharon. I know the Year of the Dragon has always been special to you.
Bob, we are both lucky to have the opportunity to co-host LA's only TV talk show about business.
Indeed, and lucky to work with a great team here at Channel 35 and the creative and talented friends who've helped us bring this show to the air. Thank you all. I'm Bob Jimenez. Thanks for watching LA Business Today.
I'm Sharon Jimenez. We'll see you again next week.